So I'd like to thank you for joining me today. You're my second Shucked guest I've had on my podcast, so I'm excited to have you on.
Love it. Excited to be here.
Okay, so for the first part, can you please explain a little bit about yourself for those who don't know who you are?
Of course. My name is Mia Shelbourne, and I'm a musical theater performer based in London. But I grew up in Kailua, Hawaii. So I did all of my like high school training and everything in the US, and then moved over to London in 2018 to train in musical theater there. And yeah, I'm making my professional debut in Shucked at Regent's Park Open Air Theater. So yeah, it's very exciting.
That's awesome. And so, when you were a child, what got you into theater?
I was quite like a kind of a loud and brash kid. And so I feel like I always was like a natural entertainer. Like I always was making jokes and like doing little plays and things for my family. But I joined a choir when I was 7, and in the choir they had like a musical theater troupe. And I was like, it was like my dream to join that because it just looked so fun. So I think I was quite lucky that I kind of always wanted to do it and always loved it from when I was super duper young. So that's kind of what got me into it.
Yeah, that's great. And so, who are some of your biggest inspirations as a performer?
Oh, that's such a good question. Um, I really love um, when I was younger, like my main kind of inspiration in terms of like sound vocally was Sarah Bareilles. Like I was obsessed with, I think I was 14, I was in high school when her like concept album for Waitress came out. And so I was just obsessed with that album. And I feel like that's a really big influence for my sound. And when I moved to London, Sarah Bareilles in Waitress was one of the first performers that I saw. So I love her in terms of like musical icon. I think she's amazing. Um, yeah, she's probably my biggest inspiration sound wise, I would say.
That's great. And so, as you mentioned, you're currently in the UK premiere of Shucked the Musical. So what was your first experience with Shucked? Was it the Broadway show, the cast album?
Yes, my first experience was the Tony performance and Alex Newell singing Independently Owned, and it was just like absolutely insane and like show stopping. So that was kind of the main thing I knew about Shucked leading up to auditioning for it. And when I got the like first audition tape through, I'd obviously heard about it, but I didn't really know what it was about or anything. And then when I first read the script, I was like, this is brilliant. Like it's so funny. Robert Horn's book is amazing, and the music is so gorgeous. But my first experience was Alex Newell performing at the Tonys. Incredible.
Yeah, for sure. And so, what was your audition process like for Shucked the Musical?
I did 3 rounds of auditions, so I didn't do a tape. I know that a few people in the cast who were doing shows at the time of the auditions had a tape for their first round. But my first round was an in person audition, and I sung some material from the show. I sung Walls and Woman of the World, and then I sung my own song as well. So that was my first audition. And then I had a second recall, which was a material round as well, with some scenes. And then in a final recall, had a bit of material that was filmed and a kind of movementy dance call that Sarah Ogliebe led, which was super duper fun. But yeah, so it was a lot of material actually, a lot of scene work in the first 2 rounds. First round was more of the London based team, and then the second and third round had all of the US based team came over as well.
That's
It was a lot
awesome.
of fun.
Yeah, for sure. And so, what is your favorite scene to perform when you're on in the show? What is your favorite scene to perform and why?
Oh, great question. I loved to do the Act One finale. Um, I think as an ensemble member, like when I'm swinging on, it's really really fun, and I love that it has all of these kind of like musical theater references to it. Like there's a big reference in that number to the Music Man and like the con man coming into a small town. I think as an ensemble member, it's a really fun one in terms of like an acting moment. You kind of go on like quite a big journey, and the choreography in it is just so fun to do. Also, Corn, which is like the big opening number, is so much fun. It probably has the most movement and the most kind of like shifts like choreographically for a female representing ensemble member. So those are my two favorites, and the whole cast is on stage, which is so much fun.
Yeah, for sure. And so, uh Regent Air is an outdoor theater, and so what are some of the hard things that you have to work with at an outdoor theater?
It's definitely super different. I think we've been really, really lucky with the weather actually. We haven't really had a whole lot of rain. I say that it's literally raining outside right now, but up until today, it hasn't really rained that much. So our biggest problem, I think during tech, it was really warm. We had a heat wave. So you get really tired, the dehydration. But the team and the theater staff and everything are so on it with like making sure there's water, making sure everything is like safe for us. And we had like gazebos and everything for the shade. And I think the biggest challenge for everyone so far actually has been all of the pollen because we're at the park during spring. The pollen is crazy. So people's hay fever is going mad. But I think we've been blessed with the weather. So it's not been too bad, but that's definitely some of the hardest things. And also we had in one of our open dresses, there was a helicopter like
Oh,
circling over us. So that was crazy. Luckily it happened during independently owned. And Georgina, who plays Lulu, is like phenomenal. So just powered through and like held her ground on stage. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of things that can happen, but we've just been super lucky.
that's great. And so, what is the best piece of advice you've been given by another actor?
Ooh, great question. I would say, oh gosh, I have to think about this one. Best piece of advice. I think I found it really, really helpful when I was training in drama school. Um, and I had somebody say to me that when you go up for an audition, you always have to bring like a piece of yourself to a character. And I think that's been really helpful for me. I think I had always been really connected to singing, and I felt like that was the thing that I did best. And I feel like it took me a little bit longer to come up to scratch with like the acting side of it because everything felt so alien. And I think approaching everything with truth and with a little bit of yourself, even if the character is wildly different, just finding something that you relate with them and some way that you're like, I can see myself here has like been a game changer for me. That's been really helpful.
Yeah, that's great. And so, uh, if you could play any character in Shuck, gender aside, which character would you play and why?
Great question. I think I would love to play. I would love to play Bo, probably because I think somebody will.
Yeah.
Isn't it insane? It's an amazing, amazing song.
He gets some good numbers. Somebody will, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
is gorgeous as well. And I think there's so much comedy in that is in that role, and you can really make it yourself. I don't think like all of the comedy in that role is super duper obvious as it
yeah.
is in some other roles, but I think like and Ben Joyce, who plays Bo in our production, is phenomenal and he's so funny. But I feel like there's so much that you can do. When I read the script, he does so much physical comedy as well that when you read the script, you don't always get. And the songs are phenomenal. So yeah, probably Bo. And I think Gordy is an amazing role as well. I would also love to play Gordy, but
Yeah, there's a great, and so this is your first professional job.
yeah.
Uh, what is one of your dream roles besides Chuck and why?
My number one dream role would probably be Jenna and Waitress, just because I have such a connection to her from like my childhood. So that's probably like my main dream role. And I just think that again in that show, the music is so beautiful, and I think her story is so beautiful. And as an actor, I think you get to go on such a journey with her. Um, yeah, so I think probably Jenna in Waitress.
That's great. And so, what advice would you give to your younger self?
My younger self. Just keep going, stick it out. So sounds so cliche to say, but it took me, I left drama school in 2021 and graduated into the pandemic. And it was rough out there. Like auditions were few and far between, and the whole industry felt it. Um, and yeah, I think if I could just tell myself back then, like, stick at it, it's going to be fine. And it's all worth it in the end. Like the bond that you have with your cast members and the crew and everyone, and just the feeling of being on stage. Just stick it out and trust yourself. Trust that you know what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. And so this next question kind of goes with the last one, but what advice would you give to younger performers who want to pursue acting as a career?
Ooh, I think learn as much as you can from as many people as you can. I think the more people that you speak to, the more people that you ask questions from, the more like varied view of the industry you get. And I think I found it sometimes a bit confusing when I was growing up because people have all of these different opinions and all of these different views. But if you can trust yourself and learn from as many people as possible and take the things that work for you, I think that is like the number one most helpful thing. And I think also get out of your own way. I think as performers, we're so self-critical. And I think sometimes you need to take a step back and be like, let me get out of my own way. Let me be crazy for a moment. Let me just push myself and try and speak to people. And yes, probably that.
That's awesome. And so that's with the question portion. But I did this with other cast members, and I have the Shucked lyrics here, and we're gonna do a little guess the
Uh-huh.
lyric.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So I don't know if there's any changes between the US and UK production because these are the US lyrics.
Sure.
So if there's any changes that I don't know about them, but
We'll give it a go.
uh, starting when and it's popping up in rows.
It's just like Norman Rockwell had a fresh new canvas of a Technicolor morn.
Yes. And then this one I think is from Walls. So
Okay.
uh, we only see the danger in places we ain't been.
We never think a stranger could ever be a friend.
Yes.
Beautiful lyric.
Yeah. And then this one is from Bad.
hmm
Uh, why can't I be better at just being bad?
Just being bad. If I had one, oh gosh, I don't think I know these lyrics. Okay.
The sopranos and altos sing next.
Oh, you can do better, can do better, can do
Yes.
better. Oh, but yeah, there we go.
So this one is from Somebody Will.
hmm
Uh, I'm an old-fashioned guy in an old-fashioned world.
Up until now, I had an old-fashioned girl.
Yep. And I feel like in Somebody Will the lyrics like flow so well like together. Like
They really do.
they always rhyme so much.
What's your favorite song
I
from
like
Shuck?
okay. I like the tearjerker
Yeah.
of a song. Like I'll be listening to the cast album and then I'll be like it gets okay and then I just like have it on repeat.
Oh, it is such a good one. It's a beautiful song.
And so the next one is independently owned.
Uh-huh.
I'm independently owned and celebrating. I'm independently owned and educating.
The boys around here sure ain't much help. Is that next? No.
Nope. This is on the outro.
Oh my gosh. Wait, could you repeat it one more time?
I'm independently owned and celebrating. I'm independently owned and educating.
I don't think I know this one.
I don't depend on anybody but me, and I live
Oh,
my
of course.
life independently.
Of course, of course. At this point, I'm usually like this.
And so, do you like, are you at the theater for each show then?
Yeah, so I'm an offstage swing. So we're there all the time. So we're backstage on standby, basically just waiting. It's really fun. We're sometimes running the show backstage, and I think because it's an open air process, we've been really really lucky that we get to show watch a lot. So yeah, so we get to watch the show all the time as well, just keeping up to scratch with our maps and our numbers and everything. So yeah,
That's
but
great.
we're
And
there
so,
every day.
oh wow. So like, do you guys like also, have you ever had like a swing on?
No, I've never
No.
had a mid-show swing on because we're such a short run at the moment. Only two of our four swings have gone on so far, but we've only been open for 2 weeks officially.
Got it.
So so far it's been pretty tame for us swings.
That's good. This one is from Okay. So,
Okay. Oh
uh,
gosh.
I never thought you'd give her heart to anyone but me.
I never thought a world apart is where I'd end up to be.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And so this one's my second favorite song, Best Man Wins.
Oh, great
The
number.
choreography, I don't know what the choreography is for the UK, but for the tour, how they had like all the bells and dancing, it's awesome.
Yeah, we have that too. It's
Yeah,
so
it's such
impressive.
a
I watch them and I'm like, what?
yeah. It's like one of the more chaotic pieces in in the whole show.
Totally.
This one's from uh this the best man wins, but Peanut
Mhm.
says he ain't from where we come from.
We may talk slow, but we ain't dumb.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this one is from Corn Mix, if you guys have that
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh Bo says tell us where you're from.
Tampa. If you can't afford Orlando or Atlanta.
And so this one is from Maybe Love.
Yeah.
And I actually got to see Brandy Clark perform it on tour with Ben Platt.
No
Yeah,
way.
before the Ben Platt show, Brandy did like a 7 minute abridged version of Shucked. She did the whole like Shucked, started
Oh
at
my God, that's
Corn and went to
amazing.
Maybe Love, just her, yeah.
Oh my, I would pay good money to see that. That would be amazing.
And it was funny because she would like go through the whole show and then she'd get to independently owned, skip independently owned so that people would buy tickets, and then she'd go to
Yes.
Maybe Love. And I'm like, just knowing that and like the way she like writes all the lyrics is just
Oh
phenomenal.
my gosh. They are like such a power duo. Their music is amazing. It's been a huge thing as well. Everybody who I've had come and see the show or people who I've spoken to who've seen it, the music is such a big thing that they bring up. Just how beautiful it is.
And so the next lyric is Maybe Love. Maybe love is like a seed.
A little sun is all it needs.
That is correct. And so do you guys like get to like you said you get to watch the show every night. So do you like see it from the house or like an actual like screen backstage?
Yeah, so sometimes we can go out into the audience and show watch from the audience, which is amazing. Most nights we watch backstage. In our green room, we have like a screen with it on, and it's pretty good quality actually, so it's good. So we sometimes we'll run through the numbers and we each choose a track and we do that track like backstage. And then when we're out front, we're usually like taking notes and things of things that you can't see from the screen.
Yeah. That's awesome. And so that's what the interview today. I'd like to thank you for joining me.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. It was so nice to meet you.